Do you ever wonder where all your money went? Most people have no idea, and as a result, they're broke at the end of the month. As you may have already experienced at some point in your life, especially as a student, being broke isn't fun. It's actually pretty stressful. But you can reduce your stress and be less broke if you simply start tracking where your money is going. You have certainly heard of budgeting before. Most people dislike the idea because it means cutting back and having less fun. People often think of budgets like diets, so budgeting has become a dirty word. In Dollar Camp, we like to say spending plan instead. Just like eating unhealthy food leads to feeling bad, getting sick, or gaining weight, spending without any kind of spending plan leads to getting stressed out and over your head in debt. If instead of dieting, you followed a healthy eating plan, then you'd probably be more successful at it. The same can be said for your spending. If you build a spending plan that's realistic and achievable, then you're more likely to stick to it, and in the long run, you'll be more successful at it. The thing we want to avoid is getting overwhelmed and quitting because it's too hard. That leads to no progress at all. So, in order to be successful, we need to make it into a game. Maybe even setting some rewards and penalties for yourself, so it's more interesting and exciting. An example could be that if you stick to your spending plan for a month, then you reward yourself with something fun that you really want or need. The key is that anytime you decide to make a change, it must be realistic and achievable in order for it to be successful. If it's not realistic, then it's too easy to get discouraged and quit when things get hard. Being unrealistic about your spending is setting yourself up to fail, and that's how most budgets are built. So we're not going to do that, and neither is Ayada. Let's see what Ayada does. She decides that she wants to see where her money is going. She starts saving her receipts, and at the end of every week, she adds them up. By the end of the month, she has spent $64 on coffee, $120 on gas, $20 on soda, and $128 on lunches. That's already $332, and she hasn't even added her rent, groceries, cell phone bill, insurance, or car payment. Creating a realistic spending plan will help Ayada make smarter decisions with her money and prevent her from making impulse purchases. If she gives herself a coffee allowance or lunch allowance every week as part of her spending plan, then she doesn't have to rely on her willpower alone. She knows whether she's on track or not, and best of all, she doesn't have to feel guilty about spending that money because it's already been pre-approved in her spending plan. That's why it's good to have a system to manage your money. A system is any set of tools and rules that you use to organize something. For example, if Ayada puts her cash tips aside every week and decides that money will only be used for gas and groceries, then she has a system. Ayada can also decide to track her spending by using an app like Mint.com. Using these tools, Ayada builds a system that works for her, and she can see where her money is going and adjust it throughout the month, making cuts here and there to make up for any mistakes or overspending. The key idea here is to have a system that works for you. That means finding tools and rules that will work for you. Because the beauty industry deals a lot with cash, we recommend that you implement the envelope system for managing cash that you receive as tips and service dollars. The envelope system is where you take the cash you make and you put it into a series of labeled envelopes. Then, you use the cash from these envelopes to pay for specific things like gas or groceries. The money you make in salary would then be used to pay the rest of your expenses like rent, insurance, etc. You always fill up the most important envelopes first with the cash you earn, and you only spend cash out of the envelope marked for that specific thing. For example, if you make $350 in tips in the salon over a 2-week period, you would fill up your groceries envelope first with, let's say, $200, and then put the rest of that money toward your next most important category, like gas. The money that's left over after that can go in the coffee and lunches envelopes. There is a more detailed explanation of how to build your spending plan and how to use the envelope system in the Dollar Camp coursebook. But this short video gives you a sense for how it could work for you. It's up to you. You can adopt some or all of the envelope system or do something totally different. Just make sure that you always use some kind of system. Don't try to get by on your willpower alone, or you'll wind up like too many other hairdressers, broke and stressed out at the end of the month. You will learn how to build your personalized spending plan in this live Dollar Camp workshop, so you can go home and start implementing it right away. Making positive changes like these is about progress, not perfection. So focus on doing better and better, not on being perfect, and you will be happier, less stressed, and more successful with whatever you decide to do.